Hello, everybody. It's Damon. I hope everyone's well on your hand. Today, we'll talk about the top 20 Keanu Reeves movie, in my opinion. So, this one should be a short video. And again, Keanu Reeves just means that basically, it's not going to be a huge list because it's also based on the movies I've seen from him. There's a lot of movies I didn't see that star Keanu Reeves. For example, I didn't see Always Be My Maybe. I didn't see The Lake House. I didn't even see Point Break. Point Break. Sorry. So I'll keep it to the movies I've seen. So the first one I would say, number 20 of the ones I've seen at the bottom of the list, top 20 is Matrix Revolution. This is a movie that lost a lot of its replayability, knowing how dumb the choice were, the creative choice were done in the movie. I mean, I feel like at the end of the trilogy, I felt like Trinity was saved in Matrix Reloaded. There were basically prophecy that maybe Morpheus would sacrifice himself to save Neo. And at the end of the trilogy, they decide to basically swerve us and have Neo die, Trinity die, and Morpheus live. And I thought it was so ridiculous, especially knowing what's going on with the sequels afterwards. And it always bothers me that in the very, very end, that the last fight that between Agent Smith and Neo, that Agent Smith won in a way. So to me, that's very, very anticlimactic, especially when it was supposed to be the last entry of the series. So until the next one, which is where I go to number 19, Matrix Resurrections. I actually like Matrix Resurrection, but I would not say more than like. It was okay, it was serviceable. Much prefer it over Matrix Evolution, even though it's below the two other Matrix sequels. Uh, I didn't like that Morpheus and Agent Smith were played by other actors, Lawrence Fishburne and Hugo Weaving didn't come back for their roles respectively. So in their place, Neil Patrick Harris ended up being the main villain in the movie. And yeah, it was a movie that felt like was okay. It's like at least it ends better than Matrix Revolution, though I thought was ridiculous at the end. They used the same ending of the first Matrix, down the same song, down to nearly the same shot, just with Trinity flying with Neo rather than just Neo flying. That thought was ridiculous. Actually made me laugh more than I thought it would. So that's number 19. Number 18, The Replacements, a 1999 movie with Keanu Reeves and Gene Hackman. And I think there was Rice Ifans there. Sorry if I mispronounced his name, and John Favreau. Again, it wasn't a movie that was a blockbuster here or basically an Academy Award winning movie. It was a fun comedy, and I thought like it keeps you engaged the whole way through when we followed a team of taggers, basically like a substitute replacement people who used to be football players quit and were brought back when actual football players went on a strike and they were the replacements and cue the title, and it was very, very fun. It's like basically I do know that Ken Reeves' character was seeing this like to put a closure to his football career, and I think uh, basically I think most of the players in the end of the games they didn't come back to play football again and just wanted to end it on a win. And spoiler, that's how that happens. It was a fun movie. I like Keanu Reeves' performance as well as Gene Hackman's. Um, It's not the best movie, but still very, very okay. If you look and watch it, it's like you'll be entertained. That's for number 18. Number 17, Bill and Ted 3, 2020, Face the Music. I always felt like the Bill and Ted trilogy, now can say trilogy, none of them missed a beat. Yeah, it's about stupid slackers, but it's like it's the whole bit. Like basically it's the whole bit. And for such a stupid trilogy, and not in a bad way, I think they're one of the series of movies that better use time travel than anybody else, which says something. Because time travel is a complicated concept, and in these movies they keep it simple. So there's less convoluted explanation, and just makes for much less mistakes later on. Uh, So yeah, I like Alex Winter jumped right back into his role as Bill, and Keanu Reeves as Ted was fun, but it kind of felt like a after seeing him in John Wick, was weird to see him back as Ted Esquire there. But the movie was very, very fun, especially their interaction with Death, played by William Sadler. I wish there was a bit more of this. It did end up having an abrupt ending, and I would be cool with a fourth one, but if there's not gonna be a fourth one, well, at least it hasn't at least it ended well. I thought it was a very good sequel. That's my opinion on this one. That's number 17. Number 16, Sonic the Hedgehog 3. By now, the Sonic the Hedgehog trilogy, to be honest with you, I feel like it's the it's a trilogy that actually seemed to be the most watchable from beginning to end to date. I mean, you can say Resident Evil 1 was good, but don't tell me the whole trilogy, the whole series until Resident Evil Final Chapter was good. Wasn't. But Sonic the Hedgehog 3 was very good. Obviously, the standout of the trilogy is Jim Carrey as Robotnik. And in this movie, you have him twice as two characters, Robotnik and his grandfather, which made up a lot of hilarity. But I missed this. I missed Sonic. I missed Idris Elba as Knuckles. You have Keanu Reeves playing Shadow. And they really made his background be very emotional. You can actually see a lot of somewhat some depth for a character that's based to be a superhero, based on a video game franchise, and I thought it was very nice. And the whole movie surprised me with how deeper it was than it needed to be, or what I thought it'd be, what it had any right to be. And at the end, I was very, very entertained by that movie. So that's for Sonic 3. That's number 16. Number 15, Something's Gotta Give in 2003 with Jack Nicholson, Diane Keaton, and Keanu Reeves. In that movie, Jack Nicholson basically meets uh, Diane Keaton after having a medical emergency, and Keanu Reeves plays a doctor. In that movie, Keanu Reeves is the boyfriend of Diane Keaton, which basically opens the door for basically young men and older women relationship. And I thought his character, while being the other guy in the movie, unlike in our other romantic movies, he wasn't played as a jerk. He was a nice person. He was a decent person, as you know, as with Keanu Reeves. He he was just played as somebody who was younger than basically his love interest. So, but seeing scenes with Jack Nicholson and Keanu Reeves is amazing, and I felt like Keanu Reeves did not. I'll say this. He didn't let us do stuff. He didn't basically like. It wasn't like Jack Nicholson was over, out acting him at every turn by a lot. It's like, yeah, he kept his own. So he carried his own momentum in that movie, and I thought for a romantic comedy was pretty fun. So that's for number 15. Number 14, Matrix Reloaded. The second Matrix and the second Matrix, my second favorite Matrix movie. I really like this one. What keeps it from being in top 10 is the ending. I don't like a movie that says to be continued with cliffhanger. To me, it's very, very lazy. Like you can do a sequel, but need to have, if you have to have a cutoff point, you need to have a definitive ending to one sequel. And afterwards, if you want to do another sequel, that's fine, but you need to have a definitive ending. Because if not, it cheapens the whole movie. I mean, to be continued, you see this in a show. You don't see it in a movie theater usually. So, but apart from that, I like Carrie Ann Moss as Trinity, Lawrence Fishburne as uh, sorry, as Morpheus, and the whole cast. I like them. So yeah. So that was a very pretty good movie, but it's not the best one. So it was the second best of the Matrix trilogy. Number 13, John Wick 2. To me, John Wick 2 would be the weakest of the franchise, of the main entry of the franchise. It was fun, but I felt it was somewhat a bit similar taste the first one and didn't explore new grounds. So John Wick 2, it's like again, it's like he goes back that world, but I felt like there was less at stake this time. So yeah, it's very good. Keanu Reeves is excellent as John Wick. That's his best roles, which at least going to give you a spoiler for this list, but still, I feel like it's the one I like the least the bunch, but even then I really like it. So that's number 13. Number 12, A Scanner Darkly in 2006, which is adapted from a short story by Philip F. Dick, if I remember right. It's with it's animation basically. This is basically a half animation, half live action with Keanu Reeves, Winona Ryder, Robert Downey Jr., I think Woody Harrelson, if I'm not mistaken. It was very, very fun. It has lots of some of twists and turns that story, but I felt like I was really entertained and basically always on the tip of my toes to that movie. And that's one of the movies from Keanu Reeves that doesn't get enough love as in my opinion. So that's number 12. Number 11, Bill and Ted 2, The Bogus Journey. I mean, you wanted Bill and Ted, you wanted more to Bill and Ted. There's Bill and Ted 2, but at the same time, you got twice as much Bill and Ted in that movie as in the first one, because they had evil Bill and Ted's robots. And I thought that was hilarious in this case. And this is the movie where they meet death, and the scene where they have to basically play against death to get back to regain their lives is one of the most hilarious scene I've seen in a comedy in a long time. So yeah, it's a very fun. It's not that long. It's like an hour 30 minutes. It's very fun. It never takes itself too seriously, and I really recommend Bill and Ted 2. That's number 11. Number 10, DC Super Pets in 2022. That was a fun movie. Again, a movie that didn't expect that much. It was a movie of DC. Then the time there's Black Adam and what else was there in terms of DC? Oh, it was not Aquaman. Aquaman was this. There was Black Adam. There was something else in of DC in that year. I don't remember, but I felt like it was a movie inoffensive. It was an inoffensive movie of DC, and I felt like it was the best DC movie that year, which has something. Dwayne Johnson plays as Crypto. John Krasinski played Superman, and Keanu Reeves played Batman. And the Batman version was hilarious. Basically, he played a hilarious version of Batman. And yeah, it's not a movie that's basically require a lot of thought, but it's very fun. So number 10. Number 9, The Devil's Advocate with Charlize Theron and Al Pacino. This is a movie that I felt like showed a lot of Keanu Reeves acting chops, and he handled himself very well. He could have easily been lost amidst a shuffle, basically feel like he's outclassed by Al Pacino and Charlize Theron, but he wasn't. Oh yeah, there was also Connie Nielsen in the movie, I just remember. But it's a very good movie, and also a movie give you a lot of introspection and reflection. And yeah, I would think it's something you need to watch at least once to get a good vibe of the movie and also get a good comprehension of the material. So I that's number 9. Number 8, John Wick 4. John Wick 4 would have been higher if it wasn't like 2 hours and 50 minutes. Because I felt like there was at least a scene in Japan, they haven't mentioned in kind of a joke way that wasn't necessary to script. It's like a lot of action, but after a while the action got, I wouldn't say tiresome, but it felt like you could have ended the movie 30 minutes beforehand. And if I had been 2 hours and 20 minutes or 2 hours, 30 minutes, I got it is the last of the series or was supposed to be the last of the series. I really felt like it dragged on for like 20 minutes that didn't need to be. The villain being played by Bill Skarsgård was not that intimidating and honestly felt like a leg down. Donnie Yen was excellent in his role, though it felt like he was doing a retread of his role in Star Wars Rogue One. And yeah, it was a very fun movie. Nevertheless, I felt like it should have been 30 minutes shorter. Number 7, Constantine in 2005. It's in my list of best superhero movies of all time, and I'll put it on here. John Constantine to me was very fun, was very fresh, and also had a lot of you could do a lot of discussion about that movie. I mean, we talked about John Constantine being great in that role, but Rachel Weisz was good as playing two twin sisters. Uh, Tilda Swinton was great as Archangel Gabriel. We seem to have turned against human, and Peter Stormare as the devil. So all in all, that whole series, the whole movie was very good, was very entertaining, and I'm happy that there's supposed to be a second one in the DC Elseworlds branch of DC. So I'm very happy about this, and I really hope it's going to be a sequel worthy of its predecessor. That's number seven. Number six, Toy Story 4. Toy Story 4 is very good, but I felt was of all the Toy Story movies, it felt like it's the one that is the least needed. It was good the way it ended at Toy Story 3. However, Toy Story 4 felt like it was a sequel, and at times I felt like of all the antagonists of Toy Story, on the Toy Story franchise, Toy Story mythos, I thought that was the one that was the least intimidating and the least memorable. I mean, and the villain actually got what she wanted at the end. Anyway, uh, say for this, but Keanu Reeves as Duke Kaboom was hilarious and stole the show. So it's a movie. He's not gonna be. I think Keanu Reeves is maybe 20 minutes in that movie, but it's like he steals the show every time he's on. And was of the best to me. He's one of the best Pixar characters in a long time. So that's number six. Number five, the original Bill and Ted, The Excellent Adventure. Again, very fun, awesome, and if people ask me why is it number five, and they'll say no way, and I say yes way. He, Alex Winter, Keanu Reeves, the late great George Carlin, all great trio in that movie. And it was a movie again that involved time travel, but did not take itself too seriously. They didn't try to basically have have the biggest stake in all. In that movie, it's just about people going back in time to make sure they don't fail in history class. And that to me is hilarious by itself. So yeah. And as much as the Bill and Ted are very dumb, you actually cheer for them. You actually see them. They're sympathetic. They might be very nice people. They're decent people, try to do the right thing, but are so dumb, but you still cheer for them. So that's the whole premise of Bill and Ted, the Bill and Ted franchise. But it's very, very good. So it's a very good movie. That's number five. Number four, Speed, with Keanu Reeves, Dennis Hopper, and Sandra Bullock. I think that was a Sandra Bullock movie that, along with Demolition Man, that propelled her in the mainstream. And I really like that movie. In fact, I would say I love it. I mean, there's also Jeff Daniels, the movie, who was in that same year in Dumb and Dumber. And yeah, I felt the whole movie, it keeps you on the tip of your toes in terms of anticipation. There's always something going on. Is always intrigued throughout the whole movie. And yeah, I thought that the bad guy character played by Dennis Hopper was very, very compelling and intriguing at once. And he was a bit fleshed out there. It's like it's he's not too fleshed out, but just enough fleshed out that you can get his point of view, see from his point of view, but not too fleshed out to the point where it felt like they were trying to transform him into a good guy or try to make him seem like he was sympathetic. No, he's not. So I really, really enjoy the Speed movie. So now we're in top three. Number three, John Wick, the original John Wick. I thought it was very good. The first one, John Wick, is the quintessential Keanu Reeves action movie to me. And yeah, it was an hour and 40 minutes, but I felt like the first movie had no potential what it's supposed to be. It's a revenge flick, and there's a bit of exposition, of story exposition, but it doesn't go too long into this. And the moment, like soon after it starts, maybe 20, 25 minutes, this is where John Wick comes back into action. I thought it was good. Not too precipitous, but just enough to basically keep the audience interested in what John Wick does and the badass ways he employs to actually take care of the bad guys. So I thought that was a great movie, John Wick 1. So it was 2014, so at least 10 years ago it was released. Oh boy. So yeah, that's number three. Number two, the original Matrix in 1999. So yeah, it's a movie that's always like basically I felt like It's a movie that mixes philosophy and martial arts, and to this day still keeps getting mentioned, or in the late 1990s, early 2000s was constantly being copied, spoofed, or referenced. Especially that the Trinity, 360 kick was always referenced or spoofed in other works of fiction. It's a very good movie. It's a lot of, I mean, like the world building in that. Just a shame that the world building end up sucking in most of the sequels. But I really like the first Matrix, and I thought it did a great job on what it was supposed to be. Again, Hugo Weaving does a tremendous job as Agent Smith. And yeah, even Joe Pantoliano as Cypher was a great villain, who was a great traitor. He plays a traitor in the movie, and I thought it was a great addition to the cast. And number one, as you probably guessed, would be John Wick 3 Parabellum. That's to me the best Keanu Reeves movie there is. And yeah, felt it felt like a bigger stake, basically a John Wick movie with a bigger stake, but wasn't too bloated for its own good. It felt like basically they knew where to go, where the story goes, and yeah, it did not overstay its welcome. I think it was 2 hours, 10 minutes. I thought perfect. It had some world building, but it was mostly centered about John Wick trying to go on his way to try to get out of the hitman profession. And yeah, the action was action packed. The villain, the fanboy of John Wick was awesome. Halle Berry was a great sympathetic ally to Keanu Reeves that movie, and Lawrence Fishburne was also excellent in that movie. And let's not forget Ian McShane and the late great Lance Reddick, who played a huge role in that franchise and always contribute a whole lot to not only developing Keanu Reeves' character, but also to create an uh, ever-expanding John Wick universe. So that's at my top 10, 20. I want to say that honorable mention might have been Ballerina from the world of John Wick. He's in it, but I felt like his John Wick character didn't really have an arc in that movie. It was very good, but I would not put it in the top 20 because it was not about him. He felt like he not only was a side character, for like an extended cameo of the character, but was still a very good movie. A movie to me that still be right now in the top 20, my top 10 of 2025. So this is my list. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'll see you around later. Take care.